While every week people still regularly spend money buying vegetables at the market, millions of families are throwing away foods that can regrow forever. Not once, nisuun, not twice, but endlessly. Every time you cut vegetables in the kitchen, you are not just preparing a meal, you are throwing away something that is still alive, something that is still growing, something that nature designed to come back again. But most people never realize that because modern life has taught us a very simple habit. Use it, throw it away, buy it again, and repeat. But what if that habit is wrong? What if what you call kitchen waste is actually a hidden food system? A system that can feed you again and again without seeds, without extra cost, without depending on anyone. All they need is a little water, a little light, and a little patience. And the moment you understand that, you will realize everything in your kitchen can start over again. My name is William. I am 70 years old this year. If you care about clean food, ancient plants, and the things modern life has made us forget, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below. I want clean vegetables for my family. Today I will show you 12 foods you should never throw away, because once you understand this, you will never look at your kitchen the same way again. Green onions. Green onions are one of the most commonly thrown away items in the kitchen, and also one of the easiest to regrow. The white root part that you usually cut off is not dead at all. It is just waiting for the right conditions to continue growing. Just place that root part into a cup of water, so the water gently touches the roots, and put it in a place with light. No soil needed, no fertilizer needed. Just clean water and a little patience. After about 2 to 3 days, white roots will begin to appear again, and the green stalk above will start growing longer. By the 5th day, you will see a clear change. New leaves grow so fast that you can notice the difference every day. After about a week, the green onions are long enough for you to cut and use in your meal. But the special thing is that when you cut the top leaves, the root base is still there, and it will continue to grow again. You don't need to replant from the beginning. You don't need to buy more. Just keep the root and repeat this process. Every time you cut, the plant keeps growing, faster, stronger, and thicker. What you once thought was waste is actually a renewable food source, right in your own kitchen. 2. Lemongrass. You may be used to only using the stalk of lemongrass and throwing away the base. But that base is exactly where all the life of the plant is stored. It is not dead. It is simply paused, waiting for the right conditions to grow again. Just place these lemongrass bases into a cup of water, so the bottom lightly touches the water, and put it in a place with natural light. No complicated care needed, no special techniques. Just keep the water clean and let time do the rest. After about 3 to 4 days, white roots will begin to appear at the bottom. After about a week, you will see new green shoots starting to grow from the very base you once planned to throw away. When the roots are long enough and the shoots are stable, you can transfer the plant to soil. From one original lemongrass base, the plant will grow into a large clump in just a few weeks. And what is worth noting is that you do not need to start over. Every time you harvest, you can keep the base and continue planting, repeating this cycle many times. A small piece discarded in the kitchen can become a long-term source of seasoning. Clean and completely self-sustained right at home. 3. Celery. The base of celery is often thrown away right after you prepare it, but few people know that it is actually the living center of the whole plant, not the long stalks. But this core is where the strongest ability to regenerate exists. Just keep a base about a few centimeters thick. Place it in a shallow dish with a thin layer of water and leave it in a place with light. No need to plant it in soil right away. No complicated care needed. Just keep the water clean and observe. After about 3 to 5 days, the center will begin to change. The color becomes deeper and small shoots begin to appear from the middle. After about a week, young leaves will clearly grow upward, forming a new green cluster right on the old base. When roots begin to form underneath, you can transfer the plant to soil to continue long-term growth. From a piece that seemed like waste, the celery plant starts rebuilding itself. Layer by layer, this is not just growth, but a complete regeneration process, starting from a small part you once ignored. 4. Garlic. Many people think that when garlic starts to sprout, it has gone bad and should be thrown away. But the reality is completely the opposite. When garlic sprouts, it is a sign that it is waking up, beginning a new life cycle. Just place the garlic bulb in a little water, so the bottom lightly touches the water and the sprout faces upward. Put it in a place with natural light, and you almost do not need to do anything else. After a few days, white roots will begin to grow from the bottom, and the green sprout above will grow taller quickly. After about a week, you can clearly see young garlic leaves, green and healthy. The special thing is that you do not need to wait for a new bulb to form. These young garlic leaves can already be harvested and used, with a milder flavor but still very fragrant and nutritious. If you continue planting in soil, the plant will grow deeper and form new bulbs over time. But even if you only grow it in water, you can still harvest multiple times from the same original source. A garlic bulb that seemed expired can become a new food source, as long as you do not rush to throw it away. 5. Lettuce. Lettuce may be one of the fastest regenerating vegetables, but also one of the fastest thrown away after each meal. The white base that you usually discard actually still has full potential to grow, as long as you give it a chance. Just place the base into a shallow cup of water, so the water lightly touches the bottom, and put it in a place with light. No need for soil immediately. No complicated care. Just change the water daily and observe. After just 1 to 2 days, the core will begin to change, and small green shoots will appear from the center. By the 3rd or 4th day, you will see young leaves forming clearly. After about a week, you will have a small cluster of lettuce, enough to use, and the important thing is that you can continue letting it grow or transfer it to soil to extend its life cycle. From a small discarded piece, you can create a source of clean vegetables in just a few days, faster than any traditional growing method. 6. Carrot tops. When you cut off the top of a carrot, you may think the remaining part has no value, but in reality, that is where a new form of life begins. This top will not grow back into a carrot, but it will develop into a strong cluster of green leaves, which can be used in many dishes or as decoration. Just place the carrot top into a shallow dish of water, keep the bottom moist, and put it in a place with soft light. No soil needed, no complicated care. After about 4 to 5 days, green shoots will begin to appear from the center. As each day passes, you will see them grow quickly, taller and thicker. These leaves are not only beautiful but also edible, bringing completely new value from something you once threw away. This is a clear example that not everything ends when you think it is over. 7. Ginger. Ginger often looks dry, hard, and almost lifeless, especially when it has been left in the kitchen for a long time. But in reality, ginger is not dead. It is just sleeping. The small eyes on the ginger are where life is preserved. When given the right conditions, they will begin to wake up and grow into new plants. Just place the ginger in a moist environment. It can be damp sand or light soil, and keep the moisture stable. No need for strong light at the beginning. Just an environment moist enough to activate the process. After about 2 weeks, green shoots will begin to appear. After about 1 to 2 months, the plant will grow stronger, with green leaves and a solid root system. Over time, from a small piece of ginger, you can harvest many new ginger roots. Something that seemed old and dry is actually waiting for a chance to start over again. Sweet potato. Sweet potato is not just a root to eat. It is a complete living system. When you place a sweet potato in an environment with water, it does not die. It begins to create new life. Just place half of the potato in water, keep the bottom part in contact with the water and the top part in the air. After a few days, white roots will begin to grow downward. while green shoots start to appear on top. After about 2 weeks, these shoots will grow longer into vines. After a month, you will see a dense cluster of green leaves, like a small garden forming from a single potato. You can cut these shoots to plant more, or use the leaves as vegetables. One original potato can create many new plants, and each plant continues to grow. This is no longer just a single food item, but a supply that can multiply over time. Basil. Basil is one of the rare plants that can replicate itself directly from its own stem. You do not need seeds. You do not need to start over. Just cut a healthy stem. Place it into a cup of water so the lower part of the stem is submerged, and put it in a place with light. After about a week, white roots will begin to grow from points along the stem. When the roots are long enough, you can transfer it to soil, and the plant will continue to grow like a complete plant. What is special is that from one original plant, you can create many others simply by repeating this process. Each cut is not an end, but a multiplication. One plant can become many, and this cycle can continue without needing to buy more. This is one of the clearest examples of how life can be replicated so simply. Potato. The eyes on a potato are often seen as a sign of spoilage, but in fact, that is exactly where life begins. Each eye is a point that can grow into a complete plant. When you leave a potato long enough, these sprouts will appear naturally. You just need to cut the potato into pieces, each piece having at least one eye, and place them in soil. After some time, each piece will grow into a separate plant. Underground, a root system will form, and over time, new potatoes will develop from it. From one original potato, you can create many plants, and from each plant, you can harvest even more potatoes. This is how a food source can multiply exponentially, as long as you do not rush to throw it away. 11. Cabbage. The core of a cabbage is usually thrown away right after you separate the leaves, but it is actually the living center of the entire plant. It is not just a leftover part. It is where the ability to regenerate is stored. Just keep the core, place it in a shallow layer of water, and leave it in a place with light. No need for soil immediately. No complicated care. After a few days, you will begin to see small changes in the center. Green shoots will appear, slower than other plants, but clear and steady. Cabbage does not grow fast, but it is very resilient. When you transfer it to soil, the plant will continue to grow little by little, forming a new structure from the old core. This is not rapid growth, but the persistence of nature, a slow but certain process, starting from something you once thought was useless. 12. Pineapple. Pineapple is one of the clearest examples showing how patience can bring significant results. The top that you usually throw away is actually the starting point of an entirely new plant. Just twist off the top, clean the base, and place it in water or moist soil. In the first few days, almost nothing happens, and that is why many people give up. But after about 1 to 2 weeks, roots will begin to appear, the plant stabilizes, and from that point, the real growth process begins. After a few months, you will have a small pineapple plant. After a year, the plant becomes stronger, and after nearly 2 years, the plant can produce fruit. This is the longest process on this list, but also the greatest reward. From a discarded top, you can create a complete pineapple. Not fast, not easy, but completely possible. What you have just seen is not a trick, but 2 completely different ways of living. One side is buying, using, and throwing away. The other side is keeping, nurturing, and letting it come back. The modern system teaches you to consume more. Nature teaches you to regenerate what you already have. One side makes you dependent. The other gives you control. You do not need more food. You just need to stop throwing life away. Nothing in nature is waste. Only humans decide what is useless, and sometimes, what you throw away today is exactly what can feed you tomorrow. Everything begins with very small things. Right in your kitchen, a scallion base, a garlic bulb, a core you once ignored. But when you change the way you see, you will realize everything can start again. So which one will you try to regrow first? Leave a comment below. And if you want to explore more forgotten food systems, do not forget to subscribe so you do not miss the next videos. This video uses AI-assisted tools to help present visual information more clearly and understandably for viewers.